Specter of Torment is the second piece of story DLC released for Shovel Knight, and it was one that I personally was looking forward to the most. Ever since first stepping into the Lich Yard, I've wanted to play as Specter Knight, the scythe-wielding Lord of Darkness that rules in a graveyard full of skeletons. I mean, what's not to love about him? So let's take a look. An important part of any 2D platformer is the way that you get around. In the original campaign, it was all about bouncing about like on a pogo stick, just like in DuckTales. In Plague of Shadows, it was all about that infamous triple jump. Here, on the other hand, you get Ninja Gaiden style wall running, plus the kind of dash attack that you can use to climb various grappling points. You swoop about like you're a little vampire bat. Plus, when you throw in all the various moves that you can get from some of the different trinkets, like the ability to hover, or to attack through entire sections of wall, he really does feel like the most powerful knight yet. In fact, you could say that perhaps he's too powerful. I felt like I was cheating at some sections by popping on my fire shield. But what I admire is how fun the game still feels to control. It constantly brings in new ideas and mechanics that make it feel not only like an homage to games of yesteryear, but is actually up there with the best of them, taking what worked in the past and then building upon it. And to say it's as good as a lot of people's favourite games of all time is a pretty big statement. I mean, I love Resident Evil 7, but I don't think it's ever winning anyone's Best of All Time award. The campaign is actually a prequel to the main game. Now, I've never really cared too much about the plot in Shovel Knight. I mean, it's there, but it's never been a strong point. But I think that even in this department, Yacht Club have outdone themselves. The story here isn't just token gesture, it actually gives you backstory to the character of Specter Knight. It lets you know what he was like when he was human, and gives his motivation as to why he has to end up joining the Order of the Eight Knights. With its flashback sequences and entertaining interruptions, the story here is surprisingly deep. And to be honest, even kind of poignant. Think classic horror, scary, sure, but also with an element of sympathy. Okay, so time for my one complaint with the game. And it's a complaint that I've always had with Shovel Knight, so this is nothing new. It's too easy, and nowhere is that more obvious than with the boss fights. Every boss has a checkpoint right before fighting them, so making them more challenging wouldn't add frustration, because you'd never have to go back far. But instead, most of them can be muscled through, especially with the dash attack. The fights can be over quickly just by attacking like a madman without much care or, more importantly, skill. Thankfully you do have the challenge mode if you really want to test yourself. But it's just a shame that the main game wasn't a bit tougher. Not only would it make it feel longer, but it would add a bit more of a sense of achievement. Maybe they should have made the harder New Game Plus mode unlocked from the start, as an option for players who want to jump right in. Specter of Torment is yet another example of what makes Shovel Knight special. It's what I love in a game, fun, addictive gameplay, that alone is enough to keep you playing, but then throw in a good story and I'm sold. And the fact that this is given away for free to all owners of the main game rather than being sold separately is a real treat for the fans. There's one more planned DLC to come, King Knight's Story, so I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for watching.